Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm using my iPad to set up my digital planner for the year ahead. In this video, I'll be creating a vision board, setting some goals, and doing a bit of planning for the upcoming month and week. I'm excited to share how I customize my planner, along with some tips and tricks that you might find useful. So let's dive right in. First, I'm going to create a brand new file using this planner builder tool. In my last video, I got a lot of questions about this page and where you can find it. So after purchasing our planners, you'll gain access to a web page where you can personalize your planner and create as many variations as you like. I'm super indecisive, so it took me a little while to settle on the colors and the background image I wanted to use. Since this image will appear on every page of my planner, I chose something that isn't seasonal, so it will work all year round. Later in the video, I'll share a trick for adding different backgrounds to your planner if you'd like to change it up. Since there's still 1 month left in the year, I started my planner from December, and you'll see how that works once the planner is generated. Later in the video, I'll also show you how I customize the side tabs and how the app shortcuts work when linked to apps like Photos or Reminders. I stuck with the same weekly layout I've been using because it's working well for me. However, for the daily page, I decided to switch to a half-hourly schedule. I want to plan my day in a little bit more detail and be more productive. I started my daily schedule at 8 AM since it's highly unlikely I'll be awake any earlier than that. Here's the planner, and I wasn't completely happy with the header row color, so I went back to the planner builder, adjusted it to be more transparent, and generated a new file. Now here's the final version, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. You can see that it runs from December to November, and the daily schedule starts at 8. Next, I'm sharing the file to my PDF annotation app, and I've decided to go back to using Goodnotes. Previously, I was planning in Noteful, which is a fantastic app, but Goodnotes has caught my attention recently with all of their new features. Here's my planner inside Goodnotes. You can see that the background image appears on every page. There is kind of a way to have different images appear on different pages, and I'll show you how I do it. What I do is swap out the image in my planner builder and generate a new file where everything else stays exactly the same. Then I export the specific page I want as an image and go back to my planner to place this image over the existing page, effectively covering it up. The hyperlinks on the page still work, and you can write directly over the top. You can repeat this process whenever you want a new background, for example, if you'd like a more seasonal look for your monthly pages. If your app includes a lock image feature, be sure to use it as it prevents the background from moving whilst you're working. I'm going to do some quick planning for the month ahead. I used my side tabs to open the Photos app in a side window, making it super easy to drag and drop images directly into my planner. I also installed a custom font using the iPhone app, which I use to write out the word gratitude. Recently, I've been reading a book that introduced me to a gratitude exercise. Each morning, you list 10 things you're grateful for, and each evening, you reflect on the one thing you're most grateful for that day. For decoration, I used the pen tool to doodle a Christmas tree. I kind of miss the holiday festivities back in the UK. Here in Dubai, it doesn't feel quite as festive. I'd love to decorate our apartment, but since our lease is ending soon and we're planning to move, it doesn't quite feel like the right time. I often get requests to do a room tour, but honestly, there's not much to show. Aside from my desk, everything else is pretty minimal, and even my desk is more of a temporary setup. I drag and dropped a sticker from my files, and I keep my larger sticker collections organized in folders within the Files app because it's much easier to sort and access them that way. These are the stickers that come with the planner bundle, and I use this palette to help me see the folder numbers that correspond to each color. On the planning side, I added a sticker for upcoming social media posting dates, as I've been working on a few brand collaborations recently. I actually create a lot more short-form videos, which I find more fun to make because they're fast-paced, energetic, and I can add music over the top. For these longer videos, I'm making a conscious effort to slow down my talking speed, as I often see comments saying I talk too fast. I bulk imported my holiday stickers into Goodnotes, as this month is filled with special dates around Christmas and New Year. I noticed from your comments that many of you are asking for more Plan With Me videos and just more content in general. I'd love to improve and speed up my video creation process. I already spend a lot of time on it, but I'm just not the fastest. Content creation is definitely a big focus and interest for me, so please let me know in the comments what kinds of videos you'd like to see. I know there's a lot of interest in an iPad versus Samsung comparison video. Years ago, I would have said I preferred the iPad, but with how similar the features have become between the two, the choice is now much harder to make. Here's a perfect example of me obsessing over tiny details no one else will probably notice. I wasn't completely happy with the colors of this Christmas tree, so I used the lasso tool to tweak it, and it still doesn't look quite right in the end. Here's the whole spread so far, and you can see how colorful it looks with the background image, even though I've barely added any decorations onto the page. I want to do some weekly planning for the upcoming week, and instead of jumping straight into the to-do list on my weekly page, I decided to start by writing everything down on a master to-do list. From there, I'll copy and paste the tasks into my weekly layout as needed. This approach is helpful because many of my tasks tend to roll over from one week to the next, so having everything in one place keeps it organized. Another reason I like using a master to-do list is that it's perfect for tracking tasks that don't necessarily need to be done that particular week or day, but are still important to remember. I use the zoom tool to jot down my list as it makes handwriting so much easier. This list essentially captures everything that's currently on my plate. I'm sure I'll think of more tasks later, but this is enough to get started on my weekly planning. This to-do list page is one of the templates in the productivity section that's along the top of the planner. While writing, I initially used a white pen, which worked well until I reached the white sections of the page where it became harder to see, so I used the lasso tool to switch to a different color. One of my planner side tabs links directly to the Reminders app, making it very convenient to add tasks from my planner into my reminders. I remember being able to drag and drop handwriting directly into Reminders and having it convert to text automatically, but that feature doesn't seem to be working at the moment. Instead, I converted the handwriting into text first and then copied and pasted it into Reminders. With my master to-do list ready, I picked out a few tasks to focus on for the week ahead. I pasted these into my weekly to-do list and identified my highest priority task, which is working on my next YouTube video about how I take notes on the iPad. I'm not sure exactly when it will go live, but keep an eye out for it if you're interested. To answer another frequently asked question, although you can't automatically sync events from your monthly page to your weekly and daily pages, what I do is use the lasso tool to copy and paste everything into my weekly layout. This saves me from having to rewrite the same information multiple times. As for my week, I'm really excited to finish and release this Plan With Me video. Once it's done, I think I'll finally feel a bit more caught up. Between launching the new planners and helping Kevin with the recent Penly update, it feels like I haven't had a proper break in a while, and I'm really looking forward to having some relaxation days where I don't focus on being productive. I love the habit tracking section on my weekly page, and these are the habits I'm currently focusing on. In the book Atomic Habits, it talks about the power of improving by just 1% every day, showing how small, consistent changes can lead to significant progress over time. For instance, if I struggle to exercise, I'll start with just 5 minutes a day. If even that feels too challenging, I'll scale it back to something manageable and gradually build it up from there. I wanted more space for journaling, so I added some blank note pages behind my monthly templates by copying and pasting them from the note section. To make it easier to access, I created a text hyperlink that takes me directly to these pages. Now, whenever I feel like journaling, I have a dedicated space I can use. I prefer using a keyboard for journaling because it allows me to jot down my thoughts much faster. You can also adjust the text box width so that it automatically wraps to a new line when it reaches the edge of the page, which makes things a lot easier. In my journal, I reflected on having a difficult week and mentioned how I tried using ChatGPT as a kind of a virtual therapist. It was surprisingly helpful, and I recommend giving it a try if you ever need some support and want to get a neutral perspective. Of course, it's not a substitute for a licensed therapist, but it can be a great tool in the moment when you just need to process things. For this journaling session, I typed everything into a single text box for the entire page and only created a new text box when I wanted to use a different font. I copied and pasted the hyperlink to the other weekly pages so I can easily navigate back to my journal section from those pages. Next, I'm creating a vision board using the custom pages section in my planner, which is essentially a collection of blank hyperlinked pages that can be used for any purpose. I added a unique background using the same method I showed earlier, and most of these backgrounds are from my planner backgrounds pack, which I'll link in the video description along with my planners. For inspiration, I turned to Pinterest and searched for specific themes to find photos of the lifestyle I want to have. Pinterest is also a fantastic place to browse other people's vision boards if you're looking for some ideas on how to design your own. When creating my vision board, I try to focus less on how aesthetic it looks and more on collecting images and words that resonate with me. That's what makes it meaningful and personal. Along with images, I also collected a lot of quotes because words can also be very powerful. After gathering everything, I edited some of the images using the Photos app by making them brighter, and you can also use the Auto button to make images look better instantly. I started arranging my vision board by dragging and dropping images onto my page. I didn't follow any specific order, but you can group similar themes together, such as health, career, relationships, or personal growth. The great thing about creating a vision board digitally is the flexibility. I can always come back to rearrange, crop or resize a particular image or swap it out with something different. You can start by laying everything out on the page and then refine it and fill in any gaps as you go. I find the process of putting it together feels very intentional and motivating, almost like setting your intentions visually. These side tabs are a combination of divider pages and custom shortcuts. For the dividers, I can copy and paste any templates behind them for quicker access, as these side tabs are visible on every page of the planner. This allows me to go directly to a divider and then simply swipe to access the content I've placed behind it. Changing my planner cover is an optional step, and I browsed through the various covers included with the planner bundle, and I chose this one that is giving a happy and cheerful vibe. To update it, I simply copy and paste the new cover into my planner and delete the existing one. I reviewed my goals from the last year and feel like I've done well on about half of them. For the upcoming year, I wrote down my new goals and intentions on the goals dashboard of my planner, and once again, I used the zoom tool to make handwriting easier. Right now, I'm really interested in content creation and want to focus on making videos that feel more authentic and aligned with my values. Over the past year, I've sometimes leaned towards creating content that I knew would be popular rather than focusing on the aspects most important to me. The next goal I wrote about is happiness. Growing up with Asian parents, I was raised to believe that success was the most important thing and that happiness would naturally follow. However, through my own experiences, I've come to realize that's not always true. Now I'm focusing on the idea that success follows happiness and not the other way around. Another goal I've set is on learning and personal growth. I tend to be quite hard on myself when I make mistakes and have often struggled with comparing myself to others, which can leave me feeling like I'm not good enough. This year, I want to shift my mindset, replacing envy with a focus on learning, improving, and feeling inspired by other people's success. I also set a goal to live a more balanced lifestyle and explore other hobbies. And my final goal is to put myself in more videos, something I've always wanted to do, but I find it a little intimidating because it means putting myself out there. So those are all my goals for the upcoming year. Since I'm using an overlaid background, I need to toggle off the image option when using the lasso tool. Otherwise, the background will move along with anything else I'm trying to adjust. This is how my planner is set up so far. If you're looking for a more detailed step-by-step guide, I made a separate tutorial on how to customize your planner using the Planner Builder. Our planner shop is linked in the video description, and with any planner bundle purchase, you'll get access to a planner builder to create as many variations as you like. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you won't miss future content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.